Hey, it's Walter Bill's Models. And here we have the Atlantis repop of the 1955 white Fruehauf fuel truck. This is a classic. I really enjoy working on this model. I haven't completed it yet. I'm taking it very slowly, but as you can see, I'm not doing Sinclair colors. My father worked for Union Oil Company between 1967 and 1973. So I've opted to do my kit in classic Union Oil colors. Now, I did the research, looked in the historical photos, and I'm doing my best to match both the shade of the blue and orange and at least one of the paint patterns that I found. There were multiple paint patterns. I guess it depended upon the year, it depended upon the tank farm that the truck was working out of. Now here we have the completed chassis. As you can see, I've already built, constructed, painted, of course. And you can see on the front wheels that they will be orange, but I've got to do some touch up on this. There's a little piece of the motor that I neglected to add that I noticed. I found the part in the box, or else it came off of what I glued. But this tank part you see here, the trailer, it lacks the final detailing that I'm going to do on the top. But I got the basic Union Oil colors. Now, I was looking to match the font of what I found painted on one of the on the tank sides of the truck. And this was exactly the font that I found, dating back to the late 50s. As you can see, they were in white. I had to paint them blue. So I painted them the same blue that I've used on the truck. And I thought that, hey, this is perfect. I don't have to hand paint these things. They'll look really good. Of course, I don't have decals for it. There's the shade of blue that I use. That's the closest to the Union Oil blue that I have found. I'm not crazy about how the shade finishes, but it's close. The blue finished closer to the actual shade than the orange did, to be quite honest. The orange on the cap is the Union Oil shade, but I have an issue with the Husqvarna orange showing up the way the cap suggests. So still, it's a pretty good match. Now, I used Tamiya masking tape here, not for paint masking, but for positioning, okay, because it was just the right width, right? This I received from one of my subscribers and viewers at YouTube, our good friend Nick N. As you can see, he sent me a bunch of great tools that are just going to make my model building so much more enjoyable and hopefully better detailed and exact. But what I did was, as you can see here, I simply laid the tape down as my guide, right, for keeping the letters level. And I attempted, you'll see here in a minute, I did these two little pieces in an attempt to determine where I wanted to place the word Union on the tank. After I did that, I realized that there's another feature of the tank that works better. So when you see me put the little vertical bits on there, just disregard that. Now I am going to do detailing on the top there, the caps for the compartments, and that's a grating. Like the driver would walk across the top there. By the way, I grew up around these trucks. I was a little kid when my dad worked for Union Oil. He started as a driver, ended up as a commercial salesman. I've been on and around those trucks, so I've got personal experience with them. So I'm going to add the detail, like some of the black paint has worn off, from over time, being walked on, and of course the caps, just little details to make it look a tad more realistic. I don't go into hyper detailing my models. I would do that if I were doing a model miniature for one of my films, but here we go with this model is more just for my shelf and my personal nostalgia and just the experience of building this particular truck. Now, here we go with the decals. This was my bright idea because, again, I probably should have added the photo of the historical Union Oil truck that I am kind of modeling this after. The font style design of these letters, this must be a classic, basic block letter font because it's identical to what's in the photo from the late 1950s, early 60s. Now, here's the problem that I discovered. The adhesive on these decals is nowhere near as strong as I thought it would be. So I got them in the right color. Well, I had to paint them. And I found the exact font that I wanted. But, as you can see, they don't stick. But that's basically kind of what it's going to look like when it's done. And in the photo that I've got, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, that's the spacing of the letters. As you can see, the Tamiya tape gave me a level line there to work with. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to try to do, is use some modeling glue to, with little pinpoints and see if I can still work with these decals. But I just don't know if they're going to work. I might have to try another way. But there it is. There's my Union Oil version of the Atlantic repop of the 1955 white Fruehauf gas tanker truck model. Classic model. I recommend it. I loved it. See you guys next time.